Good time of day. If you are in doubt and looking for the truth, this story is for you. Today, we will talk about underground cities. One of them, the underground city of Derinkuyu, is located in the historical region of Cappadocia and attracts hundreds of thousands of tourists from around the world every year. It was discovered back in 1963 and opened for free visits a couple of years later. Despite this, it remains one of the most mysterious archaeological sites in modern-day Turkey. Only a small part, not more than 10% of the explored chambers, is accessible to tourists at the moment. They can currently explore 8 levels of the underground city, which is situated 54 meters below the surface. Archaeologists have discovered a total of 12 floors that extend to a depth of 85 meters. Just imagine the immense work carried out by people. According to researchers' estimates, there could be up to 20 levels, but only 12 have been found so far. The name Derinkuyu, translated from Turkish, means deep well. Naturally, the wells that were carved in ancient times to supply water to the underground city were still used by local residents. Moreover, they used the upper levels of the city for their daily needs, but they couldn't grasp the true scale of the artificial caves. In other words, the people who lived there for a longer period of time had no knowledge of the existence of these underground structures. They were not built by their ancestors but by unknown entities. Near Derinkuyu, there are several other large underground cities, such as Kamakli, Maz, and Oskonak. The soft volcanic tuff rock in the area facilitated the construction of such structures, as it could be easily worked without the need for hard tools. Additionally, it has a porous structure and allows water to pass through, which helps maintain a dry and optimal microclimate inside the caves. These caves are very comfortable for extended stays. Despite scientists studying Derinkuyu for over half a century, no one can accurately say when and by whom it was founded. One commonly held view attributes its construction to the Hittite Empire, which existed in Anatolia during the 2nd millennium BCE. However, the Ministry of Culture in Turkey claims that it was founded by the Phrygians in the 8th–7th centuries BCE. According to their findings, the entrance to this colossal underground city was located at the end of a tunnel, hinting at a civilization that may have begun constructing it as far back as 9,000 years ago during the Neolithic era. Radiocarbon dating suggests that some of the chambers were already in use around 5,000 years ago. Numerous theories abound regarding the origins of this underground city. Some researchers speculate about extraterrestrial involvement, an advanced ancient civilization, or even the existence of the mythical Lemurians. While each theory offers a captivating possibility, none have been definitively proven or debunked. It is important to approach these mysteries with an open mind and consider multiple perspectives. The underground cities of Cappadocia hold a multitude of enigmas. For instance, it remains unclear whether the city was continuously inhabited for 2,000 or 3,000 years or if there were periods of abandonment. One theory suggests that Christians sought refuge in these underground cities to escape persecution by the Roman authorities. However, there could have been other forms of persecution or entirely different reasons for constructing these vast subterranean complexes. The official explanations for the emergence of Cappadocia's underground cities are still not fully understood. One theory proposes that the abundance of soft tough rock in the region, which is unreliable for constructing fortifications, necessitated the ingenious solution of burrowing into the earth. As various conquerors periodically arrived in the area, local inhabitants sought protection by literally taking shelter underground. Above-ground structures did exist in the region, with their basements intricately connected to the labyrinthine underground city. In times of danger, the locals would gather their valuable possessions and descend below the surface. The entrances to the tunnels would be sealed with massive stone wheels made of durable rock. Special enclosures for livestock and provisions were also present, ensuring the survival of the inhabitants. The defense systems of Cappadocia's underground cities were remarkably well planned and cunning. Even the boldest and most determined adversaries would hesitate to storm these intricate labyrinths. In the event of a breach, Defenders could easily trap the intruders in narrow passages, pouring scalding hot tar and showering them with darts and arrows through discreet openings. The enemy would find themselves ensnared in an inescapable trap. It is fortunate for the local inhabitants that they discovered such remarkable subterranean structures. I must emphasize again that they were discovered. Constructing such a monumental endeavor would have taken centuries, even considering the soft and easily workable nature of tuff. Assessing the true scale of the city was no easy task. Derinkuyu, for instance, had several secret exits leading to the surface. Moreover, a 10-kilometer tunnel connected it to the neighboring underground city of Kamakli. Deeper levels housed weapon stores, granaries, wine cellars, and wells descending 85 meters into the ground. Thanks to a well-designed ventilation system, the underground chambers were remarkably well ventilated even during crowded gatherings. Some reports even suggest the presence of a cemetery, although no human remains have been found within the premises. This raises the intriguing possibility that if people were buried there, without leaving the underground, it means that access to the surface was closed off. They resided there for extended periods of time. It is believed that at its peak, Derinkuyu could have been home to 20,000 people, making it comparable to the major city-states of ancient. The estimated total area of underground passages is approximately 1.5 to 2.5 square kilometers. It is quite possible that the city also had a significant above-ground portion, which did not survive to this day due to the short lifespan of structures made of tuff. However, according to the assumption of scholars, the last heyday of Derinkuyu most likely corresponds to Christian times. As mentioned above, there is no precise data on whether the underground city's population was initially organized by missionaries or if followers of the new doctrine occupied already abandoned chambers, which seems more plausible. Nevertheless, they left behind numerous structures, primarily underground churches and chapels. Initially, Christians in Cappadocia sought refuge underground to escape persecution by Roman authorities. After the Edict of Milan and the legalization of Christianity in the Roman Empire, a brief period of relative tranquility followed. During this time, the city acquired the Greek name Malakopia. However, as the decline of Rome progressed, these lands were increasingly subjected to invasions by barbarians and were ravaged during bloody wars with the Persian Sasanian dynasty, who adhered to Zoroastrianism. Production of flour, oil, and wine also took place on the underground levels. Around the 8th to 4th centuries, Derinkuyu was ultimately abandoned. This is associated with Arab conquests that significantly altered trade routes, and regular raids on Byzantine lands made it impossible to conduct normal economic activities, leading to the exodus of a significant portion of the population from the eastern part of the empire to the west. The rediscovery of the underground city only occurred in 1963. Actually, as I mentioned earlier, the existence of the underground city was not a secret to the local inhabitants. Thanks to the stable temperature conditions, they used some chambers on the upper levels as storage spaces. However, it was only in the second half of the 20th century that archaeologists paid attention to Derinkuyu. This happened after a peasant discovered a passage from the basement of his house to a mysterious chamber during repairs. Derinkuyu is perhaps the most famous underground city in Cappadocia. It is still awaiting further exploration. I believe there is still much to be done and many mysteries to be unraveled by future researchers. Similar cities are not uncommon on the planet. However, they are underground, making it difficult to discover such cities without knowing where to look. I think there are still quite a few of them scattered around the planet. Why were they built? Who left them behind? One can speculate that the people residing there were experiencing some cataclysm that prevented them from emerging to the surface, forcing them to conduct their lives underground. People wouldn't dig 20 levels deep for no reason. If we depart from the postulates of official history and engage in critical and engineering technical thinking, the picture appears quite different, and the number of questions becomes much greater than before. Let's not stop there. Dear like-minded people, subscribe, like, Click the bell so as not to miss new videos that will reveal the truth. Remember, the truth is often much more interesting and surprising than official fiction.